rotation is almost here. Certain cards will disappear. Now you folks do not have fear. It's a whole new season, a whole new year. Garbotoxin is moving on. The nasty frogs are finally gone. Abilities will be quite strong without those cards in the format, son. Consistency with Octillery. Dream on cause it's gone, you see. No more Sycamore and NOGs. That can be good, someone help us please. There's more like Max Elixir. Brigette, we will kinda miss her. No puzzle of time to trigger. Discard plays to be the victor. Fire will be powered down without Volcanion in town. A strong energy has been put in the ground. Let me tell you what else will bounce. Yes, episode 171, the new rotation, season 2019. Let's go. What's up YouTube, it's TCG here and welcome to episode 171 on my channel. As you know, on my channel we always check out the latest TCG news in town, so definitely subscribe for more content like this and also smack the little notification bell so you're updated immediately when a new video gets posted on the channel. As you know from the video title, it's true, Pokemon officially announced that the next rotation will be Sun and Moon onwards, which means by the time the rotation takes place we're gonna have 7 sets. We have of course actually the mini sets, Shining Legends is also thrown in there, so we have Sun and Moon that will be legal, Guardians Rising, Burning Shadows, Shining Legends, Crimson Invasion, and then we have Ultra Prism, Forbidden Light, and actually the new set Celestial Storm will also be legal. So we have a kind of a niche pool here, 8 sets that we can pick cards from, so that will be the standard format, which means there's gonna be a lot of sets that are gonna get rotated out. Think about Breakthrough, Breakpoint, Generations, Fates Collide, Steam Siege, Evolutions, you know the drill. These gonna get rotated out. Also the XY promos from usually there was like a 67 or something onwards. Well, that gets discarded right here. It's gonna be Sun and Moon promos only. So without further ado, let's go into this list. What can you expect in this list? You can expect all the best cards that have impact in the current standard format, and we are gonna talk about those cards and talk about some certain replacements for certain cards. That is gonna be a great video, so you can actually switch out some cards of your current deck and make yourself ready for the standard formation of 2019 if you're not attending any more regionals, that is. So you can get yourself ready, sell your old cards unless you are playing Expanded. If you're playing Expanded, hold on to those Max Elixirs and all those great stuff because you'll definitely need them in Expanded. But this is gonna be focused on Standard, and we're also gonna take a quick peek at the current best decks in the format and what decks, what cards they actually lose. Okay, without further ado, let's go into this list. We're gonna start off with Breakthrough, and the thing here we see here with Breakthrough is of course we are losing our draw engine Octillery. Octillery is seeing a huge amount of play thanks to cards like Brooklyn Hill, and of course the Abyssal hand lets you draw cards until you have 5 cards in the hand. And of course without Octillery it's gonna be really bad. You can get it out with Brooklyn Hill, so it's seeing a lot of play with Buzzwole, but even in other decks like Tapu Bulu we've seen Octillery shine and other decks, so it's definitely a great draw support Pokemon. And now we're going to talk about certain cards that can replace it. So this gets rotated out. You can just take cross, put them in the garbage if you're not playing Expanded. And we're going to replace them with these guys. These are just options. We have Zoroark GX with the trade ability and Oranguru, which lets you draw 3 cards. Actually, until you have 3 cards in the hand. So this is great. Oranguru is a basic Pokemon. This is stage 1. So I would recommend Zoroark GX, although Zoroark GX is weak to fighting and Buzzwole is dominating the standard format. But of course, we are losing Octillery. Moving on in the Breakthrough set, we are actually also losing Magnemite. This might not seem like a big deal, but this Magnemite has the Sparkling Induction for if there's another Magnemite on the bench, this one has free retreat. We did saw that a lot of people were playing this, even though Buzzwole one-shots this guy. This gets rotated out, so if you're playing Magnezone, you'll only have the option to play the newer versions, of course with the Searching Magnet one, and also the one that defends itself if it's on the bench, so it cannot receive damage on the bench. So this gets rotated out. Unfortunately, Magnemite, say goodbye. Raikou. Saw a little bit of play with Tapu Koko GX and stuff. This will also get rotated out. There's not a lot to say about this. It's still weak to fighting, so that it's not seeing that much of play, but it's definitely a great card and it will get rotated out. I love the Shining Body that it had, that ability to reduce the damage by 20 if it has a Lightning Energy attached, and also dealing more damage depending on the Lightning Energies attached to Raikou. We saw it with the Magnezone, the Lightning Magnezone. We saw it with, of course, Tapu Koko putting around a bunch of energies with Fighting Fury Belt, but it gets rotated out, so say goodbye to your Raikou. Next up, Ralst and Kirlia. This is the Psychic type Ralst and the Psychic type Kirlia. Why are these so important? Well, they hit for weakness against Buzzwole and Naganadel and any other Pokemon that is weak to Psychic, so they saw a bunch of play in the Gardevoir GX deck. But now we will have to say goodbye. It's also nice if you're playing Zoroark Gardevoir. This one could attack for the DCE and it's a Psychic type, so those get rotated out. The best thing you can do about that is just replace them with the Burning Shadows one. We have Kirlia and Ralts here, so nothing you can do about it. Now you're weak to metal, so which means Reggie still can one-shot the little Ralts, but there's nothing you can do. It gets rotated out. Yeah, can say goodbye to your Psychic Kirlia and Ralts. Next up, also in the Gardevoir family line, we have Gallade. Gallade saw a huge amount of play in the Gardevoir deck, one-shotting things like Zoroark GX, Silvally GX, etc. Everything that was weak to fighting got one-shotted thanks to a DCE and that Sensitive Blade. Also, the Premonition was a great ability. Let you look at the top 5 cards of your deck and then put them back in any order. Together with maybe Zoroark GX, you could trade, so that was amazing. Or Octillery. Octillery actually saw a huge amount of play in Gardevoir as well. But Gallade is rotated out. You cannot replace Gallade unless they reprint the Gallade that is fighting type. Then you can start swinging with it once again. Next up, Zoroark with the stand-in gets rotated out. What are we gonna replace Zoroark with? Great questions. If you're using it for the stand-in ability, then we have, of course, Dawnwing's Necrozma GX. This one has evasion, the exact same ability. If you're using it for the ability, we have an exact duplicate of the ability in Dawnwing's Necrozma. If you're using it for the damage output, we have the Lycanroc. This Lycanroc has, of course, the Dangerous Rogue. The Lycanroc GX also has Dangerous Rogue GX, so if you're dealing damage depending on the bench size, those Lycanrocs can still be an option. But today, we will say goodbye to Zoroark. Actually, only on the beginning of September, this will be taken in place, so you can still have a couple of months with fun with the Zoroark here. Next up, Mr. Mime blocking damage. It's not a thing anymore. This was so easy to get out. If you're having trouble against spread decks or maybe Buzzwole GX with the Jet Punch, you could easily slap yourself a Mr. Mime in your list and you were good. This gets rotated out, which means we have a replacement. We have Machoke. Machoke is kind of neat. It's a stage 1, but it also prevents damage with the damage counters, which means feather arrows and stuff also do not go through. So it's a little bit better than Mr. Mime, but it's a stage 1, so you'll need to find more room in your deck. But with so many cards rotating out, why not put Machoke in your list if Mr. Mime gets rotated out? Okay, moving forward, there is Xerneas. Xerneas, you know the one. Xerneas is a great Pokemon with the Rainbow Force. This deck gets completely rotated out. Nothing more to say about that. Also, a little fun fact, cards that I don't own at the moment, which we will put on the screen right here, is Zoroark Break. Saw a little bit of play together with Weavile. From the Ultra Prism set, the Zoroark Break is just such a great Pokemon. With the single attachment, you can copy the opponent's attack out of nowhere. You don't even need the necessary energy count. You can replace that, of course, with Zoroark GX, which has that GX move to copy attacks. Or maybe, what else could copy attacks? Like nowhere, like Mimikyu, who cares? It is possible to copy attacks. It's still possible, but Zoroark Break gets rotated out. Next up, what else might have I forgotten of this set? Mega Mewtwo EX. This saw a huge amount of play with the infinite, actually infinite Psychic Force or whatever it's called. It dealt more damage depending on how many energies were stacked onto Mega Mewtwo. This saw a huge amount of play in the early phases when it got released, but now it's finally time to say goodbye to your Mega Mewtwo, and I'm talking about the Y version in this kind of situation, because the Y version was so great. I think it was the infinite Psychic Force. I don't know. Put it in the comment section below. I never played Mega Mewtwo, so I don't even know where to begin with that one, but that one also gets rotated out, and there's definitely a lot more of the breakthrough cards that get rotated out, but I'm not gonna list every single card, otherwise we will be here for a bazillion hours, and time is money, you know. Now let's go to the trainer cards. Assault Vest gets rotated out. It's unfortunate, nothing to do about that. If you want to buff up your Pokemon, we have bodybuilding dumbbells. Another huge one is Brigette. Brigette gets rotated out. That is not good at all, because every setup deck relies on Brigette. We do have a little bit of options at our disposal. So if you want to replace Brigette, you have, of course, Nesball to put in your list. You have Pokemon Fan Club, which is actually a lower down version of the Brigette, which only grabs 2 Pokemon. but it lets you put them to the hand, so you can at least get the active ability. Let's say you smack something down, the ability still is working, because this comes from the deck, and sometimes like smack down abilities like let's say Kartana GX did not work. But this time around, Pokemon Fan Club, Olivia gets out GXs from the deck, 2 of them, and also Mysterious Treasure gets out your Psychic types and Dragon types. So these are a little bit cards that you can still use when the rotation takes place to just replace Brigette, so you'll have more room in the deck. The best one, of course, is Pokemon Fan Club, so definitely hold on to a couple of copies of that. Alright, let's get it going. Once again, there is still more trainer cards that are getting rotated out of the standard format, and let's get it going. Next up, Fisherman. I definitely enjoyed Fisherman when it first came out, because it is a hard Gold Soul Silver card, as you know, and it even goes way back. But this time around, this is a hard Gold Soul Silver version, but I think the one from Breakthrough, yeah, because it's a reprint, you can still use it. But with the standard formation, there won't be a Fisherman in standard of the 2019 season, so this gets rotated out. No more Fisherman. A replacement is maybe putting in some energy retrievals. Works the same way. You only get 2 energies though, but it works like the same way. So, okay, moving on, we have Floatstone. This is a huge one. With Floatstone gone, a lot of decks will maybe fall apart, like, oh no, my free retreat is gone, and they will just shiver in tears. What can we do about that? We have actually some options here. You can, with Floatstone gone, you can rely on Escape Rope. This is a nice card to just switch around both active Pokemon. You also have access to, let's say, Super Scoop Up. Super Scoop Up is also an option to get your active Pokemon out of the way, although you just put it back in the hand, which is not always very practical. So we have Super Scoop Up. Other methods to put your active back in the hand or to the bench could be running Guzma or Escape Board. There's a lot of options that you can still use to just put your active back to the bench, and I think there's also one I'm forgetting here, and that's actually my personal favorite. That is Acerola. So these cards actually replace Floatstone, so you have to choose. Maybe running your Guzma count to 4 could be a case. If your Pokemon only have 1 retreat cost, maybe running Escape Board could be an option. Super Scoop Up if you like playing with coin flips. Escape Rope is also a solid option, and Acerola, of course, is the best in town. Yeah, that's how we roll with this guy. Floatstone is gone. I just cannot stress enough how important this is. A lot of decks rely on Floatstone. Almost every deck nowadays has at least 1 or maybe multiple Floatstones, so this is a huge card. Brigette is a huge card. And I talked about the Pokemon lines and the Breakthrough set. Actually, I'm gonna put all the most important cards of the Breakthrough set that gets rotated out on screen here. So we also say goodbye to Assault Vest, not that it matters too much. We also lose Heavy Ball. This, yeah, ironically is kind of heavy, because a lot of decks rely on it. Think about Tapu Bulu, or maybe other decks that have a huge retreat cost can rely on Heavy Ball. Also maybe Golisopod could be one of those Pokemon that rely on Heavy Ball, so the Heavy Ball gets rotated out. Kind of unfortunate. We also have Parallel City. So as mentioned, there's nothing you can replace Heavy Ball with. It was unique. Same with Parallel City. Such a dominant card. It saw a huge of play when it first came out, but then it dropped off the face of the earth for some reason, and then it returned. Actually, in the standard format, a lot of decks are just running Parallel City to block Zoroark GX, also a huge card that gets rotated out. Professor's Ladder is kind of a meh one. It gets rotated out, but the thing here is you can also grab yourself some more item cards by using Lady. So, or actually not item, energy cards with Lady, but these come from the deck. Also, Rabombi from Burning Shadows does the exact same thing, getting energies from the deck. So maybe you can try out that if you're in need for a lot of Professor's Ladder in your deck. So, Professor's Ladder is gone. Skyla, oof, you don't want to see that. Your Skyla is gone. Searching for your rare candy, it's a shame. Skyla is gone. Searching for your Ultra Ball, or your, yeah, Heavy Ball is gone, by the way. Your item card of choice, your choice band. It's now not possible anymore. Skyla was kind of versatile, since you always could get out what you want. It was a trainer card, you can get out a stadium card, you can get out a supporter, etc. But Skyla is gone. What can you replace it with? Well, we have Volkner. Believe it or not, Volkner is actually a solid choice. It lets you search your deck for a lightning energy. Could be great in Tapu Bulu. And it also lets you search your deck for an item card. So in that regard, you can still grab your rare candy or your Ultra Ball or whatever you want from item card with Volkner. So Volkner, definitely a solid replacement for Skyla. Yeah, you thought Skyla was gone and you were crying in tears to not find your rare candy. Well, it's still around with Volkner, so lightning power. Okay. What else is gone from the breakthrough set? We have Super Rod. So that is also an important card, and Super Rod is not something you can replace easily. You can start maybe by playing some energy retrievals, could be the case, just to get back your energies in the hand. You can also play, of course, Rescue Stretcher is an option, or Energy Recycler. So this is like a combination of these things. You can shuffle your Pokemon back in, get your energies in the hand, or shuffle your energies back in. So these are kind of cards that kind of replace Super Rod. Rescue Stretcher is the huge one in that regard, because everybody's playing Rescue Stretcher to get their Pokemon back. If you're still worried about energies, maybe yeah, these two might just be an option. So Super Rod, all these cards I talked about can be replaced with certain cards of the standard format, so definitely take that in consideration and do not fall apart, do not scream in the corner. Everything will be good. This is a rotation. We are here to help you out. So I think these are the most important cards from Breakthrough that we're losing. Kind of say a pain in the heart to see all this, because also, Floatstone, if you're wondering, there's also Silvally. Silvally with the Gyro unit gives free retreat to your basic Pokemon, so you can still use maybe Silvally for free retreat. Okay, this is kind of sad to say goodbye, so we're just gonna wrap them together. Say goodbye, guys. At the 1st of September, we say goodbye to all this. If you're playing Expanded, keep on to your Brigette, keep on to your cards. You might just need them in Expanded, but in Standard, say goodbye, guys. Alright. Next up, we're going to the next set. It is Breakpoint, and in Breakpoint, the first card on the list, it is Staryu. Might you say, wow, you're gonna sum up all the comments? Not at all. This one is kind of neat. It saw a lot of play, and of course, every deck that relied on Starmie, think about Greninja Break, which we're gonna talk about later. This one has free retreat, and that's why Staryu was so good. Now we don't have any Staryu with free retreat, which is unfortunate, so say goodbye to your Staryu. We also say goodbye to Froakie, and Frogadier, and Greninja, and of course, everybody loves to hate Greninja Break. Even though I played tournaments with it myself, won a couple of tournaments, Greninja Break was good ever since it came out, and now we say goodbye to like the entire Greninja Greninja Break deck. So rest in peace. You were just so much fun to play with. Everybody. I remember the faces where you turn over a Froakie and they're saying, oh no, not this deck again. Well, this gets rotated out. And the funny fact is, Espeon EX also gets rotated out, so actually the entire deck gets rotated out of the standard formation. How crazy is that? Okay, what can we replace it with? That is the main question you have to wonder. Yeah. You can just start playing Greninja GX, I guess, if you're a fan of the Greninja Break. Start playing those. You just update them. Poof, poof. You know, Greninja GX is in town. And Espeon EX is something you cannot replace, unfortunately. Devolving Pokemon, I love doing that so much. Just putting 60 damage on everything and then devolving it. That's not a thing anymore. Espeon EX, wow. It's such a shame. So I'm gonna put all the most important cards here once again, like last time. Sorry, it was not the most important one, but still gets rotated out of the standard formation. Okay, what else was in Breakpoint that was kind of significant? Of course, we have Manaphy EX. I don't have it. I traded it away because there was a better option. We also had, of course, Silvally to put free retreat on your basic Pokemon. So Manaphy EX gets rotated out. If you're a fan of Water Box, say goodbye to your Manaphy EX. And now moving forward, we are gonna take a look at the most annoying card in history. It's Garbodor. Garbodor, of course, this one with the Garbotoxin shuts down abilities. Say goodbye to this bastard that cost you a lot of games where you just got end and you got nothing to do with because your ability blocked and you had to rely on Field Blower. You did not draw the Field Blower. You know how it goes. Say goodbye to your Garbodor because it's gone. If you still want ability blocks, let's say you are the Garbodor player and you say, oh no, my strategy, well, you still have options. You can start by playing Alolan Muk, even though this only blocks the basic abilities. And this one blocks all GX abilities. So we have two options here that are pretty solid. There's also a Slacking coming out soon that just blocks every ability. But for now, we have these to replace the Garbodor with. But this is amazing. Your abilities are back. No more shutting down my trade ability. Unless you're playing Glaceon, then you're just pretty much screwed. But let's think about it. Stage 1 and actually Stage 2 Pokemon that are not GXs are still loving it because their abilities cannot be shut down ever again. So even with Shadow Stitching leaving the format, you know the one, where is it? Shadow Stitching. Greninja also gets rotated out, so a lot of ability block gets rotated out, which is neat. You have these as replacements. Alright, moving forward, we are losing after my list. Let me check my list. We have Sudowoodo, also a very important card. Saw a lot of play, of course, and the you guessed it, of course it was the Buzzwole deck, and even the Lycanroc and stuff. Watch and learn, copy every attack, even GX move if you have not already used your GX move. So an amazing card that saw a lot of play with multi-switch, with counter energy. So this card saw a huge amount of play to just copy GX move. Let's say the opponent uses Dangerous Rogue GX, you stand behind in prize cards, counter energy, you use the attack, boom! Magic! Sudowoodo gets rotated out. If you still are a fan of copying attacks, maybe Mimikyu could be one of your saving Pokemon. This one cannot copy GX move, however, which is kind of sad. I wish it could do that, but for now, Mimikyu, if you like copying attacks, this one could be a solid replacement. Moving forward, we are gonna have Garchomp. Garchomp, the fighting Garchomp, saw a bit of play in the Garchomp Lucario deck. This one dealt 60 damage, and that with a strong energy, and the choice band could one-shot Zoroark GX while setting up energies to one of your Pokemon. So this is an interesting card, but of course the Garchomp deck is completely updated with the one from Forbidden Light. The Garchomp Lucario deck is still around in town. Alright, next up for the Pokemon, we are gonna have Darkrai EX. Don't have it with me at the moment, but Darkrai EX was huge when it first came out. Dark Pulse doing 20 damage for every dart, actually 20 damage plus 20 more for each darkness energy attached to all of your Pokemon. Similar like Raichu with Powerful Spark, but yeah, if you still like that method, maybe play Raichu, but I would not recommend Raichu at all since fighting is huge at the moment, you know. And Darkrai is rotated out now, so say goodbye to your precious Darkrai. Next, we're gonna go to the item card. So what is important? Actually, this one is still legal. This one gets rotated out, but I'm not gonna put those on the screen. Actually, this one, these are just, yeah, Garchomp does not deserve to be on the honorable mention. Actually, on the wall of fame here for the Breakpoint set. So let us continue on. Of course, we are gonna have the items and trainers now. First things first, Bursting Balloon. This is a combination with Garbodor, with Garbotoxin, Zoroark. Saw a lot of play with the Greninja deck in the early phases. If you hit someone and this is attached, you get 6 damage counters on yourself. If you're still a fan of that, maybe try out Turtonator GX. Also has the same attack. Shell Trap doing the exact same thing, but a little bit better. So if you're a fan of that, try that. Delinquent. Sylveon GX players, be wary. There's a lot of disruption cards that are now rotated out. So say goodbye to discarding 3 cards from the opponent's hand if there's a stadium card in play. Next up, Fighting Fury Belt, a huge one. Saw a ton of play before Field Blower was released. This was a really expensive card. Now it's lowered down because Field Blower knocks it out of the park, and Choice Band is obviously way better than this. Another great card is Max Elixir. Wow. And now you just want to know, how do we even replace all those crazy cards? Well, first things first, the Furry Belt here, we can just have bodybuilding dumbbells on your stage 1 types to just get 40 extra HP, so maybe the exact same thing like Fighting Fury Belt, but only for stage 1s. This is an option you can have. For Max Elixir, it's a little bit different. You need actually a ton of energies. There's, of course, Energy Acceleration. We have Pokemon that can have Energy Acceleration. We have Malamar, we have Silvally, we have Pokemon that can attach for a single energy and put a bunch of energies in play. Registeel, we have Solgaleo Prism Star, Lunala Prism Star. So putting energies onto basic Pokemon is still possible with a lot of cards in the format. So saying goodbye to Max Elixir is not even that bad, since that makes the room open for BAM! If you're playing Ultra Beast, B-String will be the main card. Play 4 copies and make sure that you can use all of them at the same turn, and then you automatically win. So no more relying on luck with Max Elixir. Try your luck with B-String. So a lot of cards mentioned to still have that energy acceleration as an item card. Alright, moving forward, there is Puzzle of Time. This is gonna be a huge one. Puzzle of Time gets rotated out. What will you do about that? Well, there's not a lot you can do. There's not a lot of cards that can bring back cards from the discard. You have, of course, your Energy Retrieval, your Rescue Stretcher, but in terms of getting stuff back, you also have Lusamine if you want to grab back your supporters, or you also have Palpat in order to grab back supporters, but that's pretty much it. I love the combination of Puzzle of Time to get anything you possibly want, but there are still options, as mentioned, Palpat, Rescue Stretcher, etc. Other cards that can exactly do what's stated on the card if you just throw 2 Puzzle of Time. You also have the Stage Y with the Hollow Hunt GX, get 3 cards from the discard back into your hand. It's even better than Puzzle of Time, but it's a stage 2 and Grass is not seeing that much play, even though Volcanion is leaving the format. More on that later. There's also, of course, Diantha. If you're playing Fairy, Fairy gets knocked out, Diantha might be the answer. Get 2 cards from the discard, exactly like Puzzle of Time. So those can be replacements, but other than that, say goodbye to your Puzzle of Trade together with Zoroark, which was definitely OP in my opinion. Aw, man. But you at least have more space in your deck to find out maybe better version of your deck. Yeah, Splash Energy is gone, and of course Reverse Valley. Okay, what I'm gonna say here is that this one shines way too much. Let's just put them aside here. Reverse Valley was great to just up the damage with your Darkness types. There are still options. We have Devoured Field, of course, doing the exact same thing, but also helping out dragons. And helping out dragons might not be the best idea with Celestial Storm in the horizon, actually, in 3 months from now. Okay, we have Splash Energy. Of course, Rescue Stretcher is your main friend to get back your Pokemon, but other than that, maybe Acerola to pick back your puzzle pieces if you get damaged, but this one worked out if you got KO'd. This is not the thing anymore, so actually Greninja GX has completely rotated out. It's kind of funny to see, actually. What else might I have forgotten of the Breakpoint set? Let me just take a quick look. I do not think I forgot some important. These are the most important cards from the Breakpoint set. Say goodbye, guys. Let us pray. And Greninja is gone, and Garbodor is gone. Oh yeah. Let's get rid of all those cards. If you're playing Expanded, don't give up on them. Just another reminder here. Alright, moving forward. We're gonna have Generations, the set where not a lot of good cards came out. There were actually, most of them were reprints. And those reprints were, of course, the Raichu. And this one is from XY, but it got reprinted, trust me on that. And the Radiant Collection, so we had the Pikachu with the nozzle, which is necessary, of course, for the Raichu GX deck with, of course, the Pachirichu with the Snuggly Generator, best name ever. Yeah, just set up your Pikachus with nozzle. Now we don't have a Pikachu with nozzle anymore. Say goodbye to Raichu. It's even weak to fighting on top of that. And this one had free retreat and could deal damage depending on your opponent's bench side. Could also be kind of a replacement for Zoroark stand-in, the one with the Mind Jack. I did not mention it there, but now I'm mentioning it here. These are now gone. Unfortunately, then we have, ooh, Sneaky Bite, boom, we have Golbat, an exact replacement, of course, boom, damage with Frogadier. So if you're a fan of sniping damage, this could definitely be a case. Wobbuffet, Ability Block, we talked about it before. And I'm gonna say the exact same answer like I did last time. There is still a Ability Lock possible. Alolan and Glaceon are still around, so don't be sad. But Wobbuffet is leaving the building, folks. Next up, we have Evosoda. I adore Evosoda so much. I'm gonna be so sad that I cannot use it. Although we have a replacement, Timer Ball. Timer Ball could be nice, but you have a little bit of luck. If you do flip tails twice, then you just rip the card apart and just say, oh no, I lost my game thanks to coin flips. Evosoda was a little bit more consistent, and yeah, maybe Timer Ball could be your way out. Next up, we are gonna talk about Pokemon Center Lady. Healing up 60 damage and all special conditions. What is better? Boom! Acerola is way better. Even Super Scoop Up is better. There are more options that are better. We have, of course, Gardenia. If you're playing grass, it's actually way better than that, even though you don't heal special conditions. Who cares about special conditions when nobody's using them, right? We have Max Potion, healing off all the damage, even though you discard all your energies as a downside. Next up, we have Revitalizer. Of course, again, Rescue Stretcher comes to mind. Revitalizer, don't even care about that unless you're playing grass. Then maybe you're gonna be sad if you're still using that over Rescue Stretcher. Rescue Stretcher is way better, just saying. It can also grab back your Lele's, just a little saying, this is not that great. Next up, we're gonna talk about Red Card. I'm gonna give you some Red Cards. This is not a football, aka soccer game, whatever you wanna call the football games in your country. We have the Red Card. You can exactly replace that with a simple copy of Marshadow. It does the exact same thing, lets the opponent shuffle their hand into their deck, and boom, they have 4 cards. So this is amazing. So you can have your Red Card as a Marshadow. So let me just say that. Next up is Team Flare Grunt. Discarding energies, as I mentioned. Disruption deck, say goodbye. Or do you say goodbye? There is still an option left. Ah, it's terrible. It's a Plumerina. Now you have the control to even discard energies on the opponent's bench, because Plumerina lets you discard 2 cards from the hand, and then you can choose any energy on the field of your opponent, discard it. So still an option if you're playing Disruption. And then Wally. I'm a huge fan of Wally, even though it shines in your face brightly. Wally gets replaced by Diantha. or actually not Diantha, it's Diancie, with the Sparkling Wish. Even though you have to use an attack, you can get an evolution of on your first turn if you go second, so it definitely counts as a Wally if you're playing Fairy, or maybe Rainbow, or maybe something else, maybe Unit Energy, so I definitely wanted to mention it here. So this is an action-packed video, so congrats for you guys for making it this far already in the video. Definitely give your support by destroying the like button. I'm doing the best I can to let you guys know about all the cards that are getting rotated out and the simple solution to just get replacements. Also, honorable mentions is Olympia, but even though we have, of course, Guzma to switch out, and maybe something else, nah, I don't think so. Generations wasn't that great to begin with, so these are the cards. Say goodbye to all of them. I don't like to see my Evo Soda go. I'm gonna, oh no, what I'm gonna do? Timer Ball it is, I guess. Next up, we're going flying on with me to Fates Collide, where your fate is colliding. Here we are gonna, of course, miss, of course, our Mew. The Mew from Fates Collide is huge. Saw a ton of play in the Buzzwole GX deck. Saw a huge amount of play in the Malamar Ultra Necrozma GX deck. So this guy is hot. Why is it? It has free retreat, can copy any attack of your bench basic Pokemon. What else can I say? So even play on Tapu Bulu. Every big basic deck wants this Mew to hit for weakness against psychic things, actually things that are weak to psychic, Aspeon GX, Buzzwole GX, Naganadel GX, etc. They all go down to this little Mew, and it even has free retreat. It has a nice attack, of course, the one encounter. Also, if you're a fan of evolution, say goodbye to your Glaceon EX. I know you might not what you're saying, this guy cannot be hit by evolutions. This could be great if you're still playing the Aqua box, so say goodbye to that. Even though it can get one-shotted by almost anything else, maybe Tapu Lele DC, so that's why it's not seeing that much play anymore. But Glaceon EX definitely a nice mentioning here. Here is Regirock EX. I know this is the alternate art from the collection boxes. I don't care. I don't have a regular Regirock EX. What you gonna do? Sue me? We have Regirock EX. Powering up the damage for fighting types. What do you know? There's something that can do it way better. What is Regirock plus Regirock is poof, it is Diancie, so get rid of your Regirock. Diancie is way better, even though some people like to combine those two. Now you can only rely on Diancie Prism. If you want more damage, play Choice Band. If you want even more damage, play Beast Energy. There is a lot of options to just increase your damage output, so that is the reasoning why Regirock EX might be sad to see it going, but we have a replacement already. So if you guys enjoy me talking about replacements, it's definitely great. I'm enjoying myself so much. I love cards so much. Anyhow, next we are gonna say goodbye to Carbon Break. Okay, there's also another one with the Energy Keeper, just to keep your energies. Who cares about that? You don't want to keep your energies because it's gone. Now, the Carbon Break got energies from the discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. That is definitely great. You could even attach strong energies and stuff to your maybe Buzzwolves, your Zygarde EX, etc. Now you cannot do that anymore. What are you gonna do? Maybe rely on boom, B-String. If you're playing, of course, in the format with Buzzwole, you definitely want to check yourself some B-Strings. You don't even need Carbon Break to waste yourself. Turn to attack, slap a bunch of B-Strings, and off you go. Jet Punching, Knuckle Impact, everything you might wish for. So Carbon Break, let's pray for you. You were great, maybe in Garbodor decks. Together with fighting types like Buzzwole or Zygarde. Talking about Zygarde EX, that one also gets rotated out. I don't have it anymore. I traded it away. It's on the screen right now, so yeah, it's gone. Next up, we are gonna talk about the item cards. We have Fairy Drop. I'm gonna Fairy Drop it like it's hot, and this Fairy Drop gets rotated out. You healed, actually you could heal 50 damage from one of your Pokemon that had a Fairy Energy attached. Really great with unit energies. It's really great with rainbow energies, etc. So yeah, let me just correct that. Yeah, any fairy energy. So it does not say basic fairy energy, so it could count as unit energy, but it's gone now. If you want to heal off, the best options, of course, as mentioned, is of course Acerola. That is your main way to heal off. And just put the Pokemon back in your hand. Super Scoop Up does the same thing for a coin flip, and of course Max Potion. Even though you discard all the energies, it's still very good. Okay, moving forward, we are gonna have Fairy Garden. A lot of Fairy cards were released here, and also a lot of fighting type cards. Fairy Garden having free retreat on everything that has a Fairy energy attached. So it works the same way. Unit energy worked, Rainbow energy worked, Fairy energy worked. So a lot of Fairy shenanigans. So let's say goodbye to Fairy Garden. Oh, that was such a great card. I remember that it came out in the XY era, and this got reprinted, but now it's finally time to say goodbye to it. Next up, now, drum ruffle, this is gonna be a huge one. It's N. N gets finally rotated out of the standard format. Wow, I saw this card when it first came out. Let me just check out what date it came out. 2011. This card has been going around for 7 years. Wow. And I just remember when I just started the channel up, I think it was around the same era, and it's just one of my favorite cards ever, and we have to say goodbye. It's a game-changing card. We could both players shuffle their hand into their deck, draw the same amount of prize cards they have remaining, and now that is gone. This was so much disruptive for the opponent and their late game. Let's say they only needed one more prize card, you always end them and won the game thanks to that. There are still options to just just mess with your opponent's hand. We have Judge. Recently reprinted here in the Forbidden Light set. We have Ilima. Ilima just lets each player shuffle their hand into their deck, and then you flip a coin. If you have heads, you draw 6 cards. If you have tails, you draw 3 cards. So Ilima is also one to mess with your opponent's hand. And then we have Wick or Wick, whatever. This lady here, each player counts the cards in their hand and shuffles those cards back in the deck, draw the same amount of cards. Okay, Wick, so these are the cards if you want to shuffle with the opponent's hand. These are the ones to go with. So yeah, you have replacements, but it's not as good as N. N was just OP. Everybody wanted N, and yeah, now let's put this to an N. Haha, my jokes. Okay, moving forward, we are gonna get rid of N. Also, random receiver suddenly gets rotated out. Note that everybody was using that since we had, of course, Tapu Lele, but just a little mentioning here. And then we have Scorched Earth, just the scorching the earth, just to draw support for fire types and yeah, fire decks and fighting types, because if you discard a basic fighting or a basic fire, you could draw 2 cards. And you know how powerful drawing 2 cards is. If you think about Zoroark GX, that also gets rotated out. And talking about disruption way before, yeah, this one, Team Rocket's handiwork, discarding cards from the opponent's hand. Don't do that anymore. It is not really fun to just mess with your opponent. Just destroy them with B-strings. Do not do it like this. I don't like disruption decks, if that was not clear enough. It gets rotated out. And then, of course, Strong Energy. This is quite the strong card. If you have not heard already, it's in every fighting deck, and that's a good reason for that. You deal an additional 20 damage, and you always want to deal more damage. And the reason that this card is now gone is gonna mean that Buzzwole will definitely need to rely on Diancie Prism Star to deal those extra numbers. But the Diancie Prism Star, together with, of course, where is my choice band? Let me just find my choice band. Whatever, don't even need my choice band. We have a Beast Energy. Boom. If you have this attached to your Buzzwole and Diancie is around, you can still get the numbers perfectly. So no need to worry. Play Prism and play a bunch of basic energies. And of course, rely on the one and only. It is B-String. With B-String and this combo, you still have your fighting deck. If you're playing Buzzwole, that is on track. So these are the cards to go with to replace Strong Energy. Oh, here's my choice band. So combo here, we have 30 extra damage, 30 extra damage, 20 extra damage. It is still possible with the damage modifications here. So Strong Energy gets rotated out. So a lot of things for fighting types and fairy types now get rotated out in standard format. And I think that's about it for the most important cards for the Fates Collide set. Say goodbye, guys. Oh my god, N. Oh no, N gets rotated out. Do you want to hear a little story? I actually pulled an N on a booster box video on my channel once, so definitely check that out. I do think so, because I had 2 N full arts at some point if I made deck videos, and they rise to the value of $130, but now they drop because they're of a promo card. Why did they do that? Okay, next up, Steam Siege. This is the set where things heat up. We're gonna first start off with yeah, this little insect, Yanmega. Free retreat, lightning weakness. Actually has saw a lot of play even at Worlds with the Yanmega break. This Yanmega is nice. If you have actually the same amount of cards, is it like that? Oh no, it's not like that. It's that if you have exactly 4 cards in the hand, ignore all energy costs. So you could actually deal 50 damage, and if the opponent had a tool card, you dealt 120 damage as a grass type, which is awesome. So this one gets rotated out. Next up, can you replace Yanmega? Hell no. Maybe Gliscifod with single energy. What is 1 energy and 0 energies? Whatever. Yeah. Next up, Volcanion. Volcanion EX, steam up, forget about it. No more steaming up with your Ho-Ohs or your Turtonators or whatever. These are rotated out, even though if you still like fire, you can still make it work. We have Ho-Oh GX with Kiawe, or maybe Turtonator GX with Kiawe. There's a lot of things possible with fire still, but the baby Volcanion is gone now. This baby Volcanion is gone. This Volcanion EX is gone. A lot of these cards are gone for fire, so yeah, fire might see a definitely decrease in play. Maybe they will make better cards in the future for fire. Anyhow, here we have Galvantula. So some play here and there, of course, because it had that double threat attack and also worked pretty well with the Rainbow Road. Same goes for Bisharp. Those dual types were kind of a thing. Dual type, dual type, dual type. This was a thing that they implemented in Steam Siege. All of them are gone now. This was Need to Retaliate of Bisharp, so we have to say goodbye to those. If you're still in need for some revenge KOs, also Toxic Rogue from the Forbidden Light set might be your boy, but also only works out if one of your Psychics got knocked out. Maybe sacrifice a Lele or something, I don't know. It is still possible. Now, for revenge, we have Cobalion. Cobalion is awesome. I played that before, and my Silvally Metal deck when it was still good, when Buzzwole was not broken. We have Cobalion with the Revenge Blast, dealing 30 damage plus 30 more for each prize card the opponent has taken. So in the late game, you could one-shot things like Tapu Lele and just be very glad that you had this in your deck as a one-prize attacker. So this is gone. Is there a replacement? I don't think so. Let me just check. I don't think there is a replacement. You could play things like Shaman from Shining Legends or Claudio or whatever, just to have some sort of revenge type of thing. I think the Shaman from Shining Legends is actually great as a grass type attacker that can come back out of nowhere. Definitely worked out with Counter Energy. Very, very good card. Also a good card is Magearna. Just to have the ignoring the effects of attacks except for the damage done to your Pokemon with a metal energy attached. Could have been so amazing if Solgaleo GX, the new one, got released early. Then they could have paired with Magearna so well that they could not devolve with Espeon EX. But nah, they decided to delay that box, and now we're stuck here with Magearna rotating out and nobody caring about it. Oh yeah. Next up we have Talonflame. Saw a bunch of play with Greninja, saw a bunch of play with Fossil decks, just saw a bunch of play with a lot of things, because if you had this in your opening hand, you could treat it as a basic Pokemon and start using Arrow Blitz, dealing 40 damage and searching your deck for 2 cards and put them directly into your hand. How cool is that? On top of that, it has free retreat and one of the best weaknesses in the entire meta. It is Lightning. Okay. What more could you wish for? So that was a great card. I sad to see Talonflame go. Also Talonflame break, so a little bit of play here and there. Yveltal, or actually Yveltal, with the Oblivion Wing also gets rotated out, same as the Xerneas with the Geomancy. They actually came from X and Y all the way through Steam Siege. How crazy is that? But now they are finally leaving the building and they are gone. Next up is Gardevoir EX. Gardevoir EX and Mega Gardevoir EX are rotated out. It's kind of neat because the Mega Gardevoir EX saw a bunch of play with Dragonite EX and Shamans and whatever the hell it was, but in standard right nowadays it was still with Hoopa EX, which also gets rotated out. More on that later, but it was still a valuable deck, but now it gets rotated out. If you still like Gardevoir, we of course have Gardevoir EX at your disposal if you're a Gardevoir fan. Next up, we are gonna have Xerneas Break. Don't have that. Also gets rotated out. I think a lot of people like Xerneas and it's gone now. Next up, we're gonna have the item cards, the item supporters. First things first, Captivating Pokepuff, just annoying the opponent, looking at their hand and placing a basic Pokemon you find there, bam, it's benched. Let's say you find the Lele, it was hilarious to do that. Next up, Ninja Boy, just swapping around your basic Pokemon to another one. Let's say, oh no, they have a special energy, Ninja Boy Zoroark GX, it was possible, but now Ninja Boy is gone. Pokemon Ranger, oh no, I used my attack and now I can attack this turn. Tapu Lele Ranger, it was good. Or maybe some other things, oh no, they use Shadow Stitch on me. Yeah, Pokemon Ranger, you're not Shadow Stitch anymore. You can use your abilities, etc. So Pokemon Ranger, kind of the neat card. Special Charge, say goodbye to that one. Recovering special energies, not very fun to see this go, because we have of course double cardless energies. We have yeah, I think we don't have that many special energies anymore. Yeah, the unit energies, so I don't even mind it too much now that I think about it, because strong energy is rotated out, splash energy is rotated out, so yeah, maybe seeing special energy charge go might just make up a slot in your deck. Okay, and to finish off, Sycamore. And now the screen is just blinking like crazy. Let's get rid of these guys. Yeah, these are the most important cards from the set. Yeah, maybe Magearna, let's get rid of that one and maybe put Special Charge in here. Yeah, Sycamore gets rotated out of the standard format. Are your minds blown already or what? Discarding your hand, drawing 7. It's almost in every deck. It brings so much consistency. Drawing cards has always been good, and drawing 7 and discarding your hand so you don't draw into them once again was very good. Discarding energies early game, think about Malamar, think about maybe metal energies with the Solgaleo Prism Star. There's a lot of great things about Sycamore, and now we finally see it go. How many times do you say Tapu Lele, actually Ultra Ball, you have 3 cards in hand, Ultra Ball, those cards go away, you use Tapu Lele and get yourself a Sycamore to get a fresh hand of 7 without the downside. That is amazing. So Sycamore is gone. Now we need some replacements. What do you want for replacements? Well, there is not too many options, I guess, but I'm gonna try to give you a little bit of a heads up here. Of course, Cynthia is gonna be a 4-of in every deck. Definitely get yourself Cynthia. Cynthia is an amazing card from Ultra Prism. Shuffle your hand into your deck, draw 6 cards. That is what you need. We have Lily, very good in the early phase of the game. If you use it on your first turn, you can draw cards until you have 8 in the hand. If you use it anywhere other than your first turn, you can draw until you have 6 cards in the hand. So also a very good card to draw cards. Then of course some niche ones. We have Sophocles, discard 2 cards from your hand and then draw 4 cards. Maybe great in Malamar, discard your psychic energies and off you go, drawing 4 cards, kind of powerful. So could be seeing some play when Sycamore gets rotated out. We have Hala. That's right. If you are one of those decks that use your GX move early game, think about Soul Galeo GX or something, Soul Burst GX, I don't know. If you use it early game, maybe Big Will GX Drampa, then let's say, yeah, you use your GX move, then this counts as shuffle your hand to your deck and then you draw 7 cards. Even better than Cynthia, otherwise you only draw 4. So maybe a combination of Hala and Cynthia could be working for certain decks. And then if you're playing Ultra Beast decks, this one is for you. This is Ultra Recon Squad, and this one lets you discard up to 2 basic, actually not basic, 2 Ultra Beasts from your hand. For every one you discarded, draw 3 cards. So if you're playing an Ultra Beast box deck, then if you're playing a lot of Ultra Beast, discard and draw more cards. Okay, a lot of draw supporters, and of course we still have the occasional Judge, and of course the Wick and Lima, so they have a lot of options to still drawing cards. Next up, I think we are done with the Steam Siege set. I think Greedy Dice should have an honorable mention here, because I do not have it in real life. How crazy is that? Anyhow, let's say goodbye to the Steam Siege cards. Sycamore goes away, no! And lastly, we are here. The Evolution set. Ooh boy, everybody that plays competitively was hoping for the set. Not really. It's a very nice set for nostalgic purposes, but competitive cards, you won't find a lot of them in there. I think I can just place all of them down right now. Okay, we have Starmie, Space Beacon, getting cards from the discard. You have other cards to do that. We have Mount Cornet, we have Energy Retrieval, and maybe some others, of course. So maybe you can just start relying on other things to do that, like I mentioned here. Next up, Electrode, blowing up and getting energies. There's an Electro GX coming out soon, so you can still try and do that, but this one not that good to begin with. So didn't saw a lot of play because of Enhanced Hammer being around. We have Mewtwo. Mewtwo saw a huge amount of play. How many Buzzwoles did Mewtwo destroy? Well, if you saw a lot of streams, if you saw a lot of matches, Mewtwo was the MVP, destroying Buzzwoles time after time with a choice band. That's right, Mewtwo was your man, gets rotated out. And Clefairy was the niche pick to just copy attacks out of nowhere. Oh, you used the Meteor Tempest, let me get my Clefairy, and boom! Yeah, that's how it went. So these guys get rotated out. What can we replace them with? That is the main question you want to ask yourself. Of course, I talked about the Starmie, so those cards can be replaced easily. As a Psychic type attacker, I don't even know. Maybe you can, if you're playing Unit Energy, Rainbow Energy, actually Unit Energy has to contain a Psychic Energy, so if you're playing that, Rainbow Energy, or maybe something else, or maybe Psychic Energy entirely, then you don't even need Mewtwo. But if you're playing Rainbow Energies, maybe try out Trash Challenge. Trash Challenge Garbodor is still a very good tech card against, let's say, if you're fighting Buzzwole, they use a bunch of B-strings, get your Trash Challenger out, Rainbow Energy attached, and boom, Trash Challenge, they're gone. So if you're still looking for a Psychic tech, that could be the case, or maybe Oricorio, because it has natural buff, it has that resistance to fighting, it also has the supernatural dance, putting a bunch of damage counters could be nice, but the Revelation Dance for a single cardless energy, so splashable in any deck. If there's a Stadium card and play 30 damage, Choice Band at 60 damage, times 2 against things that are weak to Psychic, could be an ideal Pokemon in your list if you're having problems against things like Buzzwole, for example. So those could be kind of a replacement, I guess. And Clefairy, I already talked about him a lot. I know. We have, of course, Mimikyu that can kind of copy it, but not exactly, so that's unfortunate. But if you like copying attacks, Mimikyu might be your best friend with counter energy, or maybe with the Malamars or whatever. Next up in evolutions, did I forget something? The Mew, you had a Mew that could not get hit by evolution types, I guess. And there was also a Dragonite EX that could recover 2 EX Pokemon. Usually there was a Hoopon, get yourself and the Gardevoir, Mega Gardevoir EX deck that saw some play, but other than that, not anything like that. There's also Brock's Grid, saw a little bit of play, but you know, Energy Recycler is way better. And then Devolution Spray. Do I even have it? Yeah, Devolution Spray, the evolving Pokemon. We saw that with the Paralyzation lock with Raichu. Now this is gone, so rely on your Super Scoop Up and hope for the best. Or maybe Acerola if you're having damage on yourself, or maybe the combo with Rainbow Energy, Acerola, etc. Next for the promo cards. There were XY promos cards that were very good. We had Jirachi, the Stardust one, discarding a special energy and being immune for a turn. Wow, that is kind of hard to pronounce if you're not locally English speaking, whatever. We have Jirachi being rotated out. We have Hoopa EX, getting your EXs out of the field, boom, out of the deck. There they are, 3 EXs. Hoopa gets rotated out. We have Latios EX. Fast Rate, dunking, that's what it was all about with the Choice Band, or no, not with the Choice Band, we had the Fighting Fury Belt and Kukui, so it dunks everything that has a low amount of HP. If you like dunking, then Pheromosa GX is the next best thing, so maybe try that out. And then of course we had Mew EX, same problem with Mewtwo. Try out some psychic attackers that are great or splashable. Maybe there's also, I think, a Toxicroak that is psychic. Try something out that needs Carlos energies and is psychic. That could be the ideal replacement, but Mew EX is gone. Wow, I'm so sad to see that one go. Here it is, Mew EX. Say goodbye to it. It's such a wonderful card, so versatile because it has that ability, you know. Could copy anything on any side of the field. You definitely need this required energies, but it could attack out of nowhere. You know how powerful this one was. And then I am so glad to see this one go. Giratina. This one cost me the internationals in London, so I hate this card so much. Otherwise, I would have made it to day 2. But no, you had to show up turn after turn. Anyhow, my frustration is gone. This card is gone. So even though Greninja is gone along with it, I'm glad to never see this in the light of day again. And the last one is Yveltal EX, finally rotating out of the format ever since XY. So that come a long way. We finally say goodbye to it right here. Anyhow, this was all for the cards. I think my room is filled with a bunch of cards. What is this? It's crazy. Anyhow, this is for evolutions. The promos are also gone, so we did say goodbye. Maybe we're just gonna have a little recap of the most important things that I think are gone, that are leaving the format. We have Brigette, we have Floatstone, we have Octillery, we have Parallel City. What else might we definitely need? That is very, very, very crucial, and not these things. Skylar, a lot of them got replacement cards, like I mentioned, Mew EX and Mewtwo, so I'm gonna put those together. So Mewtwo versus Mew, you know how it goes, the first movie. Yeah, what else might we possibly be missing? Oh yeah, and it gets rotated out. Very, very sad to see that one go. Yeah, just follow it up. Mew, Mew, Mew. A bunch of Mewtwo's and Mews. We have N getting rotated out. Regirock I don't even care too much about. What else might I forget here? I do think I'm forgetting Sycamore. Where is my Sycamore? I just want to give you a clear image of what is leaving the format so you guys are prepared for it. In that regard, Evo Soda, you're also gonna be missed. And maybe Wobbuffet. Let's put Wobbuffet over here. I'm just still searching through my room because my room is filled with all of these cards. Wow, okay, N and Sycamore both leaving the format at the same time? What is happening? Volcanion, say goodbye to your fire decks, man. And now we only need to find our Garbodors. Oh yeah, there are still some more cards, so these. Greninja, let's say goodbye to Greninja. Shadow Stitch, you're important. The Garbotoxin is also leaving the building, so let's just put it like this so you actually know. If you see the last image of this video, you're a very solid subscriber. Definitely subscribe for more content like this because I enjoy making it, you enjoy watching it, so yeah. Also give it a definitely smash the hell out of the like button because we're almost at 1 hour of content and that is just crazy. Never did that in a long while. Okay, we have Fighting Fury Belt, Puzzle of Time, Max Elixir, and I think that pretty much covers it. So this is the most important cards that we are losing in the standard format. So are you ready for 2019? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm gonna be hyped, gonna be doing a lot of tournaments in the new season, so I'm gonna prep myself. You know how it goes here. Yeah, that's how we do it. We're gonna just smash a lot with maybe Zoroark, maybe Buzzwole. Everything will definitely adapt. Even though you're losing a bunch of these crucial cards, I'm gonna be here on the channel as usual to just help you through the process. We're also gonna make new videos to just adapt single decks into the new formation, so you're having a big idea of what is going on. This is just a video showing you what is leaving the building and what we can replace it with. Anyhow, this was it for another episode. This was a crazy long episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to demolish the like button, spread the video around as much as you can so everybody knows what is leaving. And yeah, that's it. Thank you all for watching. I know this has been quite the ride here. And yeah, have a fantastic rest of your day. And I'm gonna be seeing you guys soon enough with more Pokemon TCG content. Stay fresh, guys. I'm out. Peace.